friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration. And you see already on the table are the things we need for this DIY. Of course, we need the smaller tumbling towel blocks. Of course, you can use the bigger blocks, but then your DIY will be much bigger. So I'm going to use the smaller blocks. I have here my container with everything inside. You know already the drill if you are here already for a long time. But the most important is, of course, the wood glue. And I use the simple brand wood glue Patex, but you can use any wood glue. Maybe you have it in your store. So of course, what I have here some paint. I use the black schoolboard paint. Of course, you can use any color you like for this DIY because it's your decor. I have here some ribbon, two sides, a smaller one and a little bit of a bigger one. I don't know if I'm going to use exactly this one, but I think I will. I have here my saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel to wipe away the glue we don't need. These are the main things we need for this DIY. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a snowman. I don't know if I'm going to make one, I'm going to make two, and I don't know how they really will turn out. So we will see. I hope you join me. And you see already on the table is the first step of the snowman. We are going to have 2 rows of 6 blocks. So 2 rows of 6, 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 4, and 2 rows of 3. So very easy. You just double it up. This is, of course, we're going to glue the longest line. And of course, I made already on this channel and of course on my other channel all about Christmas, more snowmen. So if you want to see more snowman inspiration, go check it out, the videos, because you will see much more snowman DIYs if you are at least into it. Not everyone is into the snowman. I find them always so cute, but not every snowman is working at the best. So I always try to give it a little bit of a unique shape, but you can change it up any how you like, because maybe someone is not into traditional colors and you can change it up maybe for the color teal or maybe pink, or you can even spray paint it in the gold or the silver. So there are so many options. Sometimes we are a little bit too scared to change things up. I always do it also with items I buy in the thrift store. I never keep it the same. I always change it up. So just get some spray paint in the color you like and just spray it. You see already I'm working from the inside to the outside, and I'm going to squeeze it because that's the way they stay the best to each other. So again, squeeze it, and then from the outside, make sure that you have a straight line, just like that. And again, we're going to squeeze it. If it pops out, don't worry, just glue it together again. Wood glue is very forgiving. This snowman you also can make from hot glue. So because it is one big mess, so it doesn't matter if you have if you're using your hot glue. Oh, that was really really bad English. But you see, I'm just going to squeeze it. I'm going to get my old piece of towel. I'm going to wipe away the glue. And always when you wipe away your glue, be sure that you afterwards go check out if you still have a straight line, because it has to dry up straight and not crooked. So again, we're going to make sure that we have everything in a nice line. We're going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So I gave it a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do some glue in between over here. Make sure that you have a little bit of glue on both. So you place this one on top of each other. You do some glue on this one. You're going to place this over here, the number 5. You have here the number 4. And you do some glue over here, place this on top, and number 3 this way, and you place this one on top, place it straight up and this way, and going to squeeze it. And now we're going to get number 5 again, and we do number 5 this way. Oh, of course, a little over here to be sure that he is glued. And we place this one over here. Now number 4 over here, and we're going to place this one against here, and I show it to you in a moment a little closer. And the last one will be the number 3, and we place this one straight up against this one, so we make one big massive block. And be sure that you have them, all of them, in the straight line you like. So we're going to wipe away the glue this way, and I showed you this way. This is how it's looking like. You see, you start with the 3, then the 4, then the 5, then the 6, double up, and then you go back to the sizes. I'm going to turn it over so I also can clean up this side. And you see already, this is also happening. You just place it back again, and this is DIYing also, because it never goes the way you planned it. So again, we're going to let it dry in for at least, now I think, 15 minutes, but we're going to go further now with part 2 of the snowman. So, and for the next step for the snowman, we have 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 4, and 2 rows of 3. So very easy. Again, you just take the longest line and you do very easy. You place them in a shape like this. You just make a nice row out of it. And number 3 and number 4 and number 5 is the closure up. You do here number 4, and of course I do it as fast as you can. And don't worry, if there will be another one, I won't bore you a lot with this kind of counting. So 2 of 5, 2 of 4, and now the 2 of 3. And then we already have a layer of our snowman. And this one we're going to squeeze it. Squeeze this one, and he wants to pop up, but we don't give him a chance to pop out, because we squeeze first the middle, and then we're going to, and here also try to start in the middle and then work your way to the outside. But of course sometimes I forget also, and then everything is popping out. So again, we're going to get our towel. I think you already know what to do, but for everyone who enjoys seeing every step this way. So again, and that's just my channels, because we do step by step for everyone who likes to do it together with me. So we're going to give this some couple of minutes rest. So again, we give this pieces also a couple of minutes rest. Now we're going to do some glue over here. Very easy, a little over here. We place the 1 of 5 on the other 1 of 5, and I'm going to place them straight up. Maybe it's a little bit better for you to see. So now we have 2 of 5. We do 1 of 4 this way, and I'm going to place 1 of them in front, in the middle, and I do the other 1 of 4. Be careful, because it's still not dried in your pieces, but if you do it carefully, you will make it. And like I told you earlier, if it falls apart, just glue it together again and go further. So, and the last number 3, and we place this one straight up against here, and we do here the same. And then we already have part number 2 of the snowman. We're going to squeeze it and give it some pressure from the sides over here. And now we're going to wipe away the glue, and we're going to place this also aside and turn it over and do this side the same. So you get a nice clean snowman, because you don't want that it is totally under the glue. So now we already have part number 2. So the next layer will be his head, and will be 2 pieces of 4 and 2 pieces of 3. So very easy. This goes very fast. And number 4, and this one over here. Let me know in the comments down below if you already made a snowman before for your own DIY or for your own home. Or maybe you gifted someone a snowman, because I always love making them, but I'm really curious how you made yours. I'm squeezing it the same like we did with the other one. I think you already know how to do that. So I'm going to wipe away the glue. I do it a little bit faster. This way, make sure that you have a straight line again before we're going to give it a couple of minutes. And of course, if you made a snowman, you can just send an email to Decor Easy. You see already always the mail address, of course, in our description box. So I'm going to let it dry for a couple of minutes. So you see already I have now my 2 4/4 and 2 3s. I'm going to do them the same like we did with the other ones. Just do some glue. I'm going to place this one on top of here and place it straight up. I do here some glue on the 1 of 3. Place it straight up again also. And this one. And then we already have the snowman in totally. And again, we're going to gently squeeze it together. And this one, and this. And we're going to wipe away a little bit of the glue which is popping out. And then we're going to easily turn it over and wipe away here the glue. So if everything is correctly, now you have one bigger one, a medium one, and of course a smaller one. Like this, what we're going to do, we're going to do some glue on the medium one, of course over here. And we're going to place this exactly in the middle. Of course, I have to look where I am because I have to see where I am. And this way, and I'm going to give it some pressure from the top. Make sure that I have it straight over here and give it some pressure from the top. And then if everything is correctly, you have this also. I have to look for if I need to go to the back side a little bit more, or else the front won't look the greatest. This way. And of course, now we're going to let this rest for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to place this one on top. So I gave this a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to turn this around over, and of course it's still not totally dried, because that is really dry is when you do it overnight. So we're going to place this one also now in the middle, and we're going to give it some pressure from the top, not too hard. And always make sure, look that this is a straight line and this is also a straight line. And we're going to let this rest. We place it aside and give it a couple of minutes rest. If you have glue which is sticking out like I have here, just get a small brush and just wipe it away. So very gently, just get this is a very small brush. I used already for a long time. And always go a little around, look for where the glue is popping out. So, and if everything is at your wish, then you're going to place this one aside, and then we go further with our head of the snowman. And of course we have now 5 blocks and 5 blocks, so we have 2 rows of 5, and we do them very easy together. So also again in a 1 row, and this is already 1 of 5, and now number 2 of 5, and this way. And of course you can do a snowman with yeah, how you call it? We call it a muts. I don't know how you call it in English. Not a cap, but oh, you have your mittens, if I'm correctly, but how do you call what you have on your head? We call it a muts, but at least I always love to give it a head, just a black head, but that's not everyone's cup of tea. Sometimes some people like to do something else on his head. Of course, I will come up with it in a moment. Don't worry, I will look it up how you call it. At least you learned some Dutch, because we call it a muts. So I don't know how you call it in English. I will look it up. So again, I place it carefully straight up and make sure that I have them not glued to my table. And I do this side also from the glue. And now I'm going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So you see, we gave it a couple of minutes and now we're going to glue the longest side of the short side on top. You see this one? You just do some glue on it and then we're going to place this one together very gently and we're going to squeeze as hard as we fill in the open gaps because we don't want open gaps. This way. And I looked it up, but you also called it a hat. I thought maybe it's called something different, but you also called that a hat. So I think the one is a snowman's hat is the black one, and the other one you call it also maybe from a knitted hat. I don't know. At least that's what my Google said. It is a hat. So I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So for the rest of the hat, because we already have the bottom of the hat, we have 4 rows of 3. So very easy. You just do on the smallest line again and row them together until one piece. And this is number 2. This is number 3. And the last, number 4. And we're going to squeeze them. Squeeze. And this one, and this one. You can dream of it later this day. The next day, if you made this DIY, you can't hear me saying squeezing, pressing down, a straight line. You can't hear it anymore. So I'm going to let it rest. Of course, I'm going to wipe away the glue, but I'm going to give it a couple of minutes rest. So now I'm going to make one big square out of it. Of course, if you want to be sure that it doesn't fall apart, just wait a little bit longer than a couple of minutes. So I'm going to take one of the blocks. I'm going to do some glue on the side, place them straight up and place one straight up and place them against each other this way. And of course I have in my head that he is still not totally dry yet. I get another one and I'm going to glue this one and I'm not going to, you see, I did glue this one against this one and this one will be over here on this side. And now I'm going to do some glue on the smallest line and on the inside of this line. So very easy. I have it one on the side and one on the inside over here, a small line. And if you place it this way, then everything is glued nicely together and you have a nice square. And give it a little bit of pressure, not too much because it is not totally dry yet, and just give it at least 15 minutes drying. But you have to be sure that the shape what it is a nice square shape. Then you can let it dry. So now we get the underside of the head and we're going to turn this one over and we do some glue on the inside of the square. So the glue is less sticking out of the side of our snowman's head. Of course, we're going to place it over here and we're going to look for that we have it in the middle this way and this way. Then you're going to give it a little bit of pressure already so it can fall on his place this way. And we're going to get our small brush because there is a little bit of glue coming out and we're going to wipe it away. And on this side, be sure that you don't see. And see, now we have a nice open head and we can do anything inside of here. So we're going to let this dry in and we're going to make the second snowman, but the size smaller. So for the smaller snowman head, we have 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 4 and 2 rows of 3. That's the first we are going to start with. So again, the smallest line and we go to row them together as easy as we did with the other ones. I do it only a little faster because I don't want to bore anyone, but of course if you are here and you see, oh my, this is taking a lot of my time, I totally understand, but this is a channels for doing it step by step so everyone can make the DIY. If you are a professional or you are just like me, an amateur, and you just love to DIY, then you are here at the right place to do it step by step, and you can make your own home decor for the season or for every day. So, but if you go loving fast speed, then this is not your, your channel, because I'm not in the full speed mode normally. But, and of course you get also a little bit of Dutch through the English. So if you don't mind that, then you are here at the right place, or else this is not your channel, sadly enough. But I do it always the way I think everyone can make the DIY. And like I told you, I'm also an amateur. I'm just loving to DIY and showing the inspiration I have in my head. So I'm going to let this rest for a couple of minutes. So we did let it dry a couple of minutes. We're going to go as easy. Just place this one on top of here. Make sure that you get them straight up. We do here the same with the ones of 4. Place this one to this side. We place this one to the other side. And this one. And this one. So we do this one on this side and this one on this side. And then we're going to give it a little bit of pressure also from the sides and this side and over here. And make sure that you have everything on the lines you want to have it, and then squeeze it and wipe away the glue. If you are gently, then you can easily turn him also upside down to do the other side. This way. You have to do it fast. If you're going to do it slow, then it will fall apart. So always do it fast. So this is already stage 1 of the second smallest line. And of course I see already I have some glue coming out over here. Now I'm going to do the second layer of the smallest snowman. So the second layer is also easy. 2 rows of 4, 2 rows of 3, and that is also immediately the last of the snowman for this one, because he will be shorter. And this is of course a number 2. This is row 3, and again squeeze them, wipe away the glue and let it dry in for a couple of minutes. So also for the second layer is the same drill, is just some glue, place it on top and on the side. We do some glue on the one of 3, place it over here, and also this one. And we place this one on this side. And we're going to squeeze it, press it together this way. And we're going to wipe away the glue, gently turn it over and do here the same. And now we're going to let it rest for at least also now maybe 10 minutes. So if everything is correctly, you have one of this one and you have one of the smaller one. We're going to turn it over, do some glue. Make sure that you have a little glue on each side, and we're going to place this also in the middle of this one and give it a little bit of pressure. Turn it over to be sure that you have it on the other side the same. And again, press it down. And we're going to let this rest. And of course, I see already that there is a little bit glue coming out. Get your brush and wipe away if you see some glue popping out, because later it's not really a nice side if you're going to paint it. So again, now we're going to do the next step. The next step will be the head, but of course we're going to make this one a little bit smaller. So we do 4 blocks in a row, and we're going to cut off a little piece. You don't have to cut it off. That's what I do, but you can do that easily with a handsaw. You don't have to do it with a jigsaw, because it's only a little piece you need to cut off. So again, we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. So we gave both of the 4 blocks a couple of minutes drying. We're going to do some glue on the smallest top side over here. place it down, and we're going to place this in, and we're going to fill in the open gaps because we don't like open gaps. So this way, make at least sure that one side is straight, because from this side I'm going to cut off a little piece. So always make sure that at least this side is the nice side, and this is you cut off, so it doesn't matter if there's a block which is a little bit smaller like I have. You see, this one is a little smaller than the other three. So again, I'm going to try to get as even as I can on this side, and I'm going to let this dry in. And you see already I have here 4 times 3 blocks, because when a lot of you already were looking right, I'm going to make some snowman candle holders. But of course I need the size for my tea lights to have the shape on top. It has to be this shape, because I use this little tea lights, and of course I painted mine already in the black color because I use black in my decor. So I use that's why I need to have the shape 4 times 3 to get it fitting. Just look which one you have. Maybe you have some string lights, and sometimes there is only a little piece for the battery with it. I have battery packets like this, but I hope you have the smaller one. Then you also can go for this one in maybe 4 times 2, and then place it in. That's also fine, but I have still the little bit of the bigger one, so I need the 4 times 3 for the head. So I'm going to use the same like I did with the bigger one, but I'm going to cut off a little of the head to give it at least the size that it is smaller. So again, we're going to squeeze it, and we're going to give it a couple of minutes rest again. Now we gave the 4 blocks of 3 a couple of minutes again. Of course, you can wait a little bit longer if you are not want to have the risk that it falls apart. So just glue them together again this way, the same like we did with the bigger head. You do here some glue on this side, place it over here, and now this one will be again on this side, and of course on the inside of the last block. And if it's correctly, you place them straight up, and then you have them over here. You can easily give it a little bit of pressure, not too much, or else it will fall apart. Get your towel and go around and wipe away the glue you don't need. But you need sometimes the glue, because else it doesn't stick the right way. Sometimes you need a little bit more. So again, we're going to give this also a couple of minutes. So now we're going to get the 2 times 4 blocks we glue together. I'm going to get my pencil, and I'm going to place a little square on top of here, and I'm going to simply measure out. I only need a little line over here, see, on this side, and I do the same on this side. So I only mark this one because I want to have the same side over here. I think a centimeter, more is not. So I'm just going to make a mark over here and a mark over here, and then I'm going to get my ruler and I make a straight line. I'm going to cut it off. So you see, I did cut off a little piece of this side. It's not too much. I'm going to do some glue also again more on the inside of the square over here and over here, and we're going to place this one also in the middle. So again, give it some pressure from the top and make sure that you have it in the middle, and this way. And we're going to let this dry, and of course I see already a little bit of the glue also popping out over here. So we're going to wipe away the glue, and on this side and on each side. So now we're going to let this dry in, and we are already for painting our snowman. So now if everything is correctly, you also have 2 of the bodies of the snowman. I'm going to get my brush, and I have here on my paper kitchen towel some white, but this is white which is not covering totally. So I like that it's always gives a little bit of the wood color coming through. But if you like more that he is totally white, you can do it. And of course, what I always was thinking, if I had a little bit more time, or else the DIY will be much too long, I always love to use some wood filler and just do everything under the wood filler, and that means you get a nice texture of your snowman. But this time I'm going to do it without, and I'm just going to give it a nice white finished look. So we will see how this will turn out. So you see already now I have both sizes in a little bit of the wax white. And now I'm going to do my snowman's head, and I'm going to do them in the black dark gray color. So if everything is correctly, this also gives a little bit more of the look which is shining through. So I hope that this will work the same as I have for my snowman, but we will see. But of course, I'm going to take my time and just paint it nicely in this color, because sometimes when it dries up, it gives some open spots. So I'm going to take my time. Maybe I have to do it little pieces again, extra. So my snowman head is also in the black color. Oh, you see already, this is DIYing also. I have a spot over here because I cleaned it up, because I painted myself also in the black color. So this is not, we think, what does she have on her sweater? But this is just a sweater for DIY, don't worry. But I always mess things up. This is also the truth. You see me this way. I have here my bag with half a wooden rounds. I will show it you a little bit closer in different sizes. I'm going to look for 4 of the smaller ones I can use for eyes of my snowman. Of course, you can draw them yourself on top of here. I'm just going to use a half a wooden round, make it black, and I'm going to glue them on top of the snowman. So you see already, I have 4 of them now in the black color. I'm going to get one of my snowmen. I place them this way. I'm going to do some glue on the underside, just a little drop, and I place them over here. I do here the same, a little drop. Oh, at least if it's covered, because it doesn't need a lot of glue. And we're just going to place this also over here, when it's not sticking on my finger. So I'm going to do it over here, give it a little bit of pressure, and I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to do also the second one. So you see already, I found 2 of my plastic carrots, and of course they were from the Easter season. I always have them laying around. You can buy them at Temu, AliExpress, everywhere you can buy them at piece, but you also can do a little bag full. So for the smallest one, I'm going to do only a little piece of the carrot, not too much, like this, and I'm going to cut it off this way. And I'm going to do this one for the smallest one, and I'm going to glue it on top of here. You see, very easy. And for the other one, I keep it a little bit bigger, because this one, of course, the snowman is a little bigger. So I'm going to do only the top of the carrots. I remove. And this way. And now you have 2 different sizes. And of course, this is not totally a nice cut, because we want to have a nice cut, at least a clean cut. This is not really the way I want to have it. So you see, now we have 2 bigger and a smaller one, but you also can make it with some dough. You can do some and clay, some noses, so you don't have to do it with some carrots. You can improvise what you want. So I'm going to get my hot glue, and I'm going to glue them on top of here. Now that gets for me the difficult side, and that will be the mouth. I had always a little bit of trouble to getting the mouth, so I'm just going to get my pencil, and I'm just going to make a little of the mouth. I think I like to have it, but of course, do whatever you think it's right. I'm not really someone who can show you how easy it is to make a mouth, because I'm you see already, I'm just drawing it with some pencil, and then I'm going to do it with some paint. And again, also over here, I'm going to make my line to the side. And I'm just going to do, there's no rhyme or reason how I do it. I'm just going to do something. I really have no idea. So, and I'm just going to do a little bow over here and over here. And just try to let it look like a nice smile. So this is how I'm going to paint it over, and of course with the black color. So you see, I tried my best with the faces of the snowman. Of course, what we're going to do now, we're going to take the head and we're going to do some ribbon on the head. So we have now the faces of our snowman, but of course I'm missing a little bit of the pink cheek. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my white over here with a little bit of red to make it a little bit in the pink color. So, and again, I do a little bit extra white because I only want to have a little bit of the lighter pink. And of course, a little more because this paint is over and I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to make sure that I dab most of them off, because you don't want to have too much on your a brush. So I'm going to paint it off, dab it off. Of course, it takes a little of your time, but at the end it will look nice. But you see, there is still coming a lot of. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do a little on the top of the a little bow I have here. So a little round here and a little round over here. So you see, this is how he's looking like. Only a little, I don't do too much, but I think it looks very nice. But you don't have to do it. If you think this is really not my style, just don't do it. I'm just giving you an inspiration. So over here. Now we are going to go further with our head. And you see already, we have two of our heads over here. I'm placing here my snowman, and I have here my little lighter ribbon of red, and it is a velvet ribbon. So I'm going to cut off a little piece this way, and of course I'm going to use my hot glue, and I'm going to hot glue a little bit on my ribbon, and I'm going to make a nice line around my head. And of course, this is also an option. You don't have to do it. If you don't like it, it's fine too. Now, of course, only when your camera is running, it's always one disaster with your pieces you want to show. So I'm going to dab it. You see already, I have squeezed it over here. Now we're going to go easily around and very over here and over here and over here. And of course, we're going to cut it off. And this way. And I'm going to do a little bit of glue on this side. So I'm going to bend it over to make sure that I can do a little bit of glue on my ribbon. And then I'm going to place it over the other piece. And you see, now you have a nice clean piece ribbon around your head. So I'm going to do for this one the same. So now I have my ribbon on my head, and I did it 2 lines, but of course you don't have to do it. I'm going to get my wood glue, and I'm going to do the top of my snowman. And first I'm going to turn over my head this way, and this is my back side of my snowman's head, and I'm going to have here the back side of the snowman. So I'm going to do some glue in the middle over here, a little here and here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to make sure that I have it in the middle, and I'm going to let it fall down on top of here. Make sure that we keep it in place for a little moment and we're going to let it dry. So you see already the head is now on top of my snowman. And what I was looking for, because I have these tea lights and they are only, I think now 2 centimeters high, so they are not really high. But if you're going to look, you see already they will go in totally, and that's not what we want. So I have here 2 half blocks. So I'm going to go to my garage. I did 1 block and I cut it in half and I made a T out of it. So you have here 1 half and here is the other half. So very easy, from 1 block you make this half, and then you're going to do some glue under it. Over here, just do some glue over here. And we're going to glue it inside of the head to be sure that, of course, our tea light is still fitting inside of here, because it's a little bit of a task to get it in the middle, but don't worry, you will get it. And of course I'm going to squeeze it and make sure this way, and I'm going to let it dry for a couple of minutes. So now the snowman candle holder is almost finished. What I'm going to do, I have now still my ribbon, my velvet ribbon, and I'm going to give it a scarf over here, this way and around here. I will show it to you in a moment. It's just very easy. I'm just going to do it back on the back side, go to the front side, make a little cross over here, and then I'm going to do it down here. But you see that in a moment, because it's difficult to do it on camera, but everyone can make their own. So I did a little bit for my bigger snowman, the scarf, and of course I need to put away the lime wires because they are over my snowman. But of course this is one, but decorate your own the way you like it. Of course, you see in a moment a quick impression when I have both of them finished. And yes, you see here finally a quick impression of my Tumbling Tower Blocks snowman candle holders. I'm so happy how both of them turned out. Of course, you can make lots of sizes if you want to. Everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw also. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day, everyone. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.